A short distance from downtown Philadelphia is Eastern State Penitentiary. The prison was opened in 1829 and was closed in 1971. The unique wagon wheel design was revolutionary at the time. Until then, prisons were simply large holding cells or dormitories. With the new design, there were no more than 2 inmates in each cell. Emphasis was on reform rather than punishment. There was one central core that gave access to each individual prison block. At the time, it was the most expensive public structure in the United States and quickly became a model for prisons worldwide. While much of the prison still stands, large sections have crumbled. This is a view from the exercise yard into a prison cell. Prior to 1800, prisons were dark and rat-infested. Jeremy Bentham was the first to develop a new design of prisons. It did utilize the 2-prisoner per cell model, but each cell was visible to the guards in the central tower. There was no privacy. Uniformity and chain gangs were required. John Haviland designed Eastern State. He not only revolutionized prison architecture, but the entire prison system. Inmates had privacy. Work was still required, but it was given a sense of purpose. Recreation was encouraged. There were even games between inmates and prison guards. As the number of inmates increased, so did security. Guards were mandated to inspect each cell 3 times a day. The warden was required by law to visit each cell once a day. The interior today looks nothing like it did decades ago. The prison now is a National Historic Landmark and museum. It is considered the first true penitentiary. Its focus on rehabilitation rather than mere incarceration and physical punishment was as controversial as it was revolutionary. Inmates were allowed gardens and could even keep pets in their cells. The cells had a flush toilet and pipes that carried hot water in the winter. The facility is kept in a condition known as preserved ruin. This means no renovation or restoration can be done, with the exception of stabilization and the stopping of any further decay. There are a few exceptions. They include a restored cell and Jewish synagogue. This is the solitary confinement wing. The doors were substantial and the cells small. This corridor leads to the area designated for the most dangerous criminals. Over the course of its 142 years, the penitentiary has held 85,000 inmates. For a time, it also held one of the most notorious. Al Capone was a Chicago gangster who was responsible for as many as 200 murders. While he was on trial for murder several times, he was never convicted. The Smiles left in 1931 when he was finally convicted for income tax evasion. His team of attorneys could not help him when he sat for his mugshot. He was likely held in cell block 8. Capone's cell is the only other one that has been restored to its condition at the time of his incarceration. While his accommodations were above par, he did have a cellmate and had to follow daily prison routine. For 142 years, Eastern State Penitentiary led the world in prison reform. The walls have held pickpockets, petty thieves, and mass murderers. Eastern State offers a fascinating history of prisons and those responsible for their reform.